Hey guys, what's up? Okay, so, oops, that makes noise. For today's live, you guys voted to hear about um, why cutting carbs is not good for weight loss, especially in perimenopause and menopause. So, I have some very good news for you today. So, it in fact can backfire when you cut carbs. When it comes to low carb diets, they're super popular. And I think, keto is the one now. Back in my day, it was Atkins, basically the same thing. You may have done it before too, if we are all in the same age group. And one of the reasons people think it works is because carbs hold water. So when we eliminate carbs, we immediately lose water weight and we think it's fat. It's not. It's short term and it's water weight. And that's why you get that quick fix with it. Most people will gain weight back when they do a low carb diet. And then you'll obviously gain the water weight back and you'll gain the body fat back. But you can't stick to them. And there's reasons why. And we're going to go into those a little bit today, and also why they're essential for weight loss and perimenopause. And I think it helps when you have a little understanding of why, because we have it in our mindset, right, to be afraid of carbs. One of the reasons we're afraid of carbs is because all carbs got grouped together. There's two different types of carbs. We got good carbs and bad carbs. And in the simplest way to explain it possible, bad carbs have no fiber. Good carbs have fiber. That's pretty much it. And so when we're eating white carbs, bad carbs with no fiber, basically means they, turn into sugar in our body right away, and they spike our blood sugar, and it causes a whole host of problems and can increase weight gain and make us have cravings and not signal when we've had enough to eat. When we have good carbs with the fiber, they can balance our blood sugar, they feed our gut health, which helps to balance our hormones. Like, everything in the body works together, right? So when we are trying to lose weight at this age, there's a few things that are important to understand. And I really hope that you understand this and you stop being afraid of carbs, because I know most women are. One of the things that happens at this age, and one of the reasons we have a tendency to gain weight if we haven't changed anything, is because our hormones are changing, obviously. And so our estrogen and progesterone are declining. At the same time, our cortisol, our stress hormone, is increasing, right? And that's the hormone that is famously known for putting fat on the belly. When we decrease or eliminate carbs, this is important. This increases cortisol. So when we eat a low carb diet, we think that we're doing the right thing and that we want to lose weight, but what it's doing, it's increasing cortisol. And cortisol is the hormone that's putting fat on our belly. So it's like literally working against us. So that's one thing. Now, the other thing is that carbs help our body to make serotonin. And serotonin helps to regulate our mood, and it helps to regulate our sleep. So you've probably noticed, if you've been on a low carb diet, you're pretty cranky. Right? You're pretty cranky. And you're cranky probably for two reasons. Number one, because you're feeling deprived and nobody wants to feel deprived. And also, when we think we can't have something, human nature, we just want it more. And so now you're miserable because now you really want something and you think you can't have it. And that's when you have food cravings, both emotional and physical, right? So the good news is you can and should have carbs. Now, the other thing is carbs help when they regulate our serotonin. This helps with our sleep. As you probably may have experienced, at this age, our sleep can be disrupted already just due to the hormonal fluctuations. So then you take carbs out and it makes your sleep even worse. Now, that has a snowball effect. When we don't get enough sleep, the next day, because we didn't sleep properly and restore and recover properly, our hunger hormones are out of whack. So we're facing all these double whammies, right? And so now we're having all these food cravings because we didn't get enough sleep. Like, it's so messed up. So we have to start at the foundation. So one of those is having the appropriate amount of the right carbs, which is going to help with your serotonin and your mood, and it's going to help with your sleep, which is then going to help you not have food cravings the next day, because your hunger hormones would have had time to be dialed in while you were sleeping. And the other thing is, believe it or not having enough improper carbs can affect your thyroid. And I think everybody knows what the thyroid is. It is a major player in regulating our metabolism. I'm losing my words. It's a major regulator in regulating our metabolism. And so thyroid needs glucose to function properly, and that comes from carbohydrates, from carbs. So that's another thing. Now, we also want to think about blood sugar. With the change in our hormones, you may have noticed you're eating exactly the same, but you are tending to put on weight. One of the reasons is because with the fluctuation in hormones also comes another fluctuation. And that means at this age we can be more resistant to insulin. What this means is when we're eating the food, instead of that food being utilized by our body and being uptaken into our cells to be burned off as fuel, because we need insulin to get it into the cells, that our body's a little more resistant to insulin, so that insulin's not really getting the sugar into the cells to be used as fuel. So instead it's being stored as body fat. And so we want to really balance out our blood sugar, and having the right carbs will actually help you to do that, because the right carbs, remember, have fiber. Fiber is basically slowing down the digestion of your food. When we have white carbs with no fiber, we eat it, they're digested right away in the small intestine, and they spike our blood sugar and everything goes wild. When we have fiber, it slows the digestion, so it goes all the way through the digestive system, and it's not giving those big shocks of blood sugar spikes, right? So we want to look for complex carbs, carbs with fiber. They help to balance blood sugar. They also help to feed our gut health, which helps to balance the hormones. If I have to say that one again, it's so, so, so important. Even better to have those complex carbs with healthy fat and a protein. It's going to help to balance that blood sugar out, which is the name of the game at this age. So it affects our serotonin, which affects mood. We can have issues with mood at this age. So it's going to affect our mood in a positive way when we have those good complex carbs. It's going to help with our sleep, so we're not going to have food cravings the next day. It's going to help to balance our blood sugar, so we're not going to be having same food cravings up and down. So it's not going to be like eating bad carbs where it spikes your blood sugar up, crashes down, and then you're craving more to get you back up. It's got that fiber, so it's going slowly through your system. So it's giving you nice sustained energy, helping you feel nice and satiated. It's going to help with your thyroid function, and it's going to help to decrease that stress hormone cortisol, which is known for putting fat on the belly. So some of the good sources you want to have would be things like whole foods, right? So sweet potato, oats, lentils, beans are a good one. There's so many. So just make sure they have the fiber. That's what we want to look for. So the very good news is you can and should have carbs. You don't need to go on a strict carb restricted diet. You probably won't be able to stick to it anyway. Nobody can. So don't feel bad about yourself, because nobody can stay on them, because we need them. Our body knows what it needs, right? So that's that. Now, that being said, they are good for you, but it is possible to have too much of a good thing. So you don't want to sit down and have plates and plates and plates of just carbs. It needs to be balanced as well. So I hope that helps. Leave any questions below. And if you have struggled with low carb diets, leave that below too. And I hope this helps you. Please let me know that this helped you have a better day, that you can have some carbs for dinner tonight and you're gonna have better sleep for it. Have a good day. Bye.